Hello and welcome back to a slightly different video. As you're aware, we're talking face-to-face instead of through Minecraft, so that's one of them. But I was like, I don't have a video for this week for Friday, and it's probably better to have something rather than nothing. So I'm trying this out. It's a tier list of different Minecraft blocks and stuff. We'll see how it goes. I hope to do more like live in-person content in the future, so yeah, it's whatevs. But it's a tier list, so I think the goal, like the rankings here, it's pretty self-explanatory. OMG, you say OMG when you see it, like diamonds or diamonds. Very solid. It's useful. It's you need it, but maybe it's annoying to get or something else. It's and then forgetful is forgetful. It's like, I don't know. Some of these blocks here are definitely forgetful. And then useless is like, it's ugly or it's just stupid. Why does it exist? So yeah, let's get into it. The first one, iron ore. I'm gonna put this in very solid. Like it's needed for hoppers, any large storage system thing, it's super necessary. So I like, it's gotta be in very solid. I'm not putting it in OMG because you're never like, oh my God, I got iron. But you are like, ooh, love me some iron. You know what I'm saying? The next one, coal. It's good in the early game for sure. Like it's good for torches. It's good for furnaces, smelting stuff. But after like, I don't know, after you like are close to getting an elytra or you beat the ender dragon or something, you can probably switch it out for like wood if you have a tree farm, or lava if you have a lava farm. Those are easy to build. And it slowly becomes not helpful. So low key, I'm gonna put it in I, because it's I, like it's okay, but it's definitely not iron. Next, logs. I'm gonna say this is just like wood, like log wood, because there's no other wood there. I'm gonna be honest, wood is also very solid. Like you need it for everything. It can be a substitute for coal, so it's got to be better than coal, because it can do more things. You need it for crafting pistons or chests. I can't put it at OMG because you're never like, oh my God, a tree. But it's kind of okay. Leaves, I'm gonna be honest. They're not useless, but they are forgettable. They're pretty darn forgettable. Like if you're chopping down trees, you're not remembering the leaves. Or the saplings that come from them, no chance. Still, it's not great. Sponges. This might be the first OMG. I'm gonna be honest, because when you're looking through, what is it, like the water temples, you're like, oh my God, they're sponges. And I've genuinely said that when I'm building a water base and you find sponges, it is genuinely OMG. If you don't need them though, they're useless. Well, that's the point of using them. If you don't use them, they're useless. But I'm gonna put them OMG because when you need them, they're so helpful. And finding them is like a pain. You can only do it in water temples, I think. So I think that's the first OMG. It's kind of a lame OMG, but like genuinely, I've said OMG while looking for sponges and getting them. Glass. This might be another very solid. It's probably more I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's as useful as coal. It's just see-through walls, which is okay. Like it's That's why it's there. That's why the I category is there. Lapis lazuli. I'm gonna be honest, in vanilla Minecraft, I don't think I've enchanted something since 1.8. I'm dead serious. Like there's no point in enchanting stuff because you can just go get a bunch of villagers and do that whole shebang and get better stuff. So I'm throwing both of these. Actually, I'm putting lapis lazuli in forgetful. The lapis lazuli block. This is different than lapis lazuli. I'm treating the ores as the ingot, kinda. But I'm treating the block as the block itself. Like, how useful is the block? It's useless. It's so stupid. It's ugly. You can't build with it. It's only useful for storing lapis lazuli in larger quantities. But lapis lazuli is kind of stupid. So I'm just putting it in useless. It's the first useless that we got. Next up is granite. And if you've seen my Create Mod series, actually that's spoilers, so I'm not gonna say that. I pre-recorded some of the episodes because I was getting my wisdom teeth out and couldn't talk. And I didn't know how long it would take to heal. There's some spoilers with granite. I'm gonna put this in because sometimes you need it, and when you do need it, it's a good block. Like it's a pretty decent block. Other times it's stupid and you don't need it. So I'm putting it straight in the middle here, and I think that's okay. Next up, I don't know if this is dispensers or droppers. I think this is a dispenser and this is a dropper. Droppers are alright, I guess. Like, I don't know what they are. Yeah, so I think droppers are I think that's a good spot for them. Sandstone, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't built anything with sandstone again since like 1.8. I think it just goes in forgetful. It was a really good block when it was introduced and there were like 4 colors of blocks. But now, like, there's concrete, there's terracotta, there's so many nicer looking ones that it's just kind of not great. Like, it's good for holding up sand in deserts when you're mining underground, but otherwise it's stupid. Next up, a note block. You know what? This is kind of useless, but also in the cases where it is useful, it is pretty useful. The people that make like the songs and stuff are so good. I can't put it in useless. I think we can put it in forgetful. No, that's a jukebox. I was thinking, does it cost a diamond? That's a jukebox. I want to put it in forgetful because it is kind of forgetful, but it isn't like dummy expensive like a jukebox would be. Beds. I'm going to be honest, depending on what you're doing, it could be OMG. Like if you're speed running and you get a bunch of beds, that's an OMG moment. I'm going to be honest. And otherwise, I think it might just be very solid because like it helps you sleep. Sleep is good for you. Yeah, we'll throw it in very solid. Next up, powered rails. So they're expensive. They require like 6 gold per thing, and they're useful for rails and stuff, but there are like minecart furnaces that like are basically an engine that can go and push other minecarts, so you don't need them, and they are really expensive. I think they go in I think that's okay, because they're not like iron level solid, if you know what I'm saying. But I think they're I. Like they're not They're not for sure. This is a detector rail. This is like if minecart hoppers are sitting on a rail and you want to get their comparator output or whatever, they're really useful. I think again, this has got to be I. Actually, there's no other way to do what a detector rail does. There's another way to get coal. Glass is just I. There's another way to do powered rails. It might be very solid. Because there's if you want to get stuff from a minecart, there's no other way. So I think it's very solid. A sticky piston. This has got to be OMG. This is a top tier block. This is probably the best like redstone block, maybe other than an observer or something. Like it is so good. It's needed in so many things. You want a redstone door? Sticky piston. So it's got to be OMG. Cobweb. All right. Normal piston. I think a normal piston is It has some specific uses that sticky pistons can't do, but otherwise it's just the worst replica of it. So I'm popping in an I think you can play Minecraft without it and it'd be okay. Wool. What is wool used for other than beds? It's forgetful. It's a lot like if you have a sheep farm to like get cooked mutton for some reason, then you're not collecting the wool probably. So I think it's just diorite. So if any of you watch Iskall, you'll know that he hates diorite because it looks like bird poop. And I agree. So it's going in useless. It is kind of stupid. It's ugly looking. It looks kind of like, you know those old CRT TVs, like the big ones that like when there's no channel, there's a bunch of little ants running around and it's all staticky. That's what that block is. And I don't know why they decided to do that way. So it's going in useless. Next up, gold. So this is a gold block, not gold ore or ingots, even though we don't have gold here. Which, oops. Gold block, it's This is just the block, not gold itself. I think the block is It's definitely better than lapis, because lapis is stupid. It's kind of pretty. It can't be used for a bunch. It might be in forgetful, just for a gold block purpose. Yeah, so I think it's just forgetful. Next up, iron blocks are definitely more useful than gold, and I think look better, to be honest. Like if you're using it to do redstone wiring and stuff, it looks super cool. So it might go up to I. It's useful in anvils too. If you want to build thousands of anvils, you need a bunch of iron blocks, but otherwise it's kind of stupid. Brick. Spoilers for the Create mod series, but when you need brick, it's pretty helpful, and I think it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna throw it in I. It's not like great, but it's a brick. It's okay. And it could be useful. Like it makes things look cool. If you're doing a factory, which spoilers, I think I say that. And then TNT. I have a love-hate relationship with TNT. It is both the scariest and funniest block, I think, in the game. If whenever someone is annoying, you just throw some TNT on their house and then you're good. I'm gonna put it in very solid. It's an elite block. It's the only thing that blows stuff up other than creepers. Like it's the only block that can blow stuff up. So yeah, it's very solid. Bookshelves. Bookshelves are cool. I think they're all right. I think they're not more useful than a piston though, or a dropper. They gotta go in eh. They're useful in enchanting, but as I said, who enchants anymore? You just use villagers, and they're kind of pretty, but they're not that pretty. So it's going in eh. Mossy cobblestone is forgetful. I don't even know how to make it, and I know that you can actually craft this type of thing, so it's forgetful. Obsidian, very solid. It literally the solidest block behind bedrock. Like it's hard to break. Torches, it's a torch. You're not like, oh my god, a torch. You're like, a torch. That's all I gotta say. Spawners. I'm gonna be honest. The mob farms that spawners make are pretty useless. They're not fully useless, but if you're doing any mending or you're trying to get levels, they're pretty useless. Like it's better to just spend your time going to the end and making an enderman farm, or spending your time to make like a cactus smelting farm. I can't put it in, you can't move them. It's not a great farm design really. So I'm putting it in useless. Chests, they store your items. I think they gotta be OMG. Even though it's like, you're not like, oh my god, that chest, but you are like, I need some chests. And I think that's the best place to be, because chests are so much more useful than all the things below it, and probably even more useful than sponges and sticky pistons. Andesite, it's going with granite and eh. It's eh, who cares? And now, the big boy. The reason this was called OMG, diamonds. If you're not yelling that you found diamonds, you're playing the game wrong. It's gotta be top of OMG. That's the reason it's here. But diamond blocks. This is just the block form of diamonds, not diamonds itself. Diamonds itself, OMG. The block form of diamonds is stupid. You never have enough diamonds for this. And also, it looks ugly. So you're not gonna build with it. It's just to flex. And there's better ways to flex, I think. Like you could make an iron farm with infinity iron blocks in it, and I think that's a better way to flex, because after you have one set of diamond armor, they're pretty useless. Crafting table. It's gotta be very solid. I don't think we can throw it in OMG. It is kind of, it's in the name of the game. It's craft, mine craft. Like it's gotta be OMG, just because it's so needed, like to make anything really. Like to make a piston, you need a crafting table. So I think it's gotta be there. And to make a chest, you need a crafting table. This might be number 2, a furnace. We still have so many to go here. I might just zoom through a couple of these because some of them are kind of lame. A furnace, I think, is OMG. It's pretty dope. It's a standard one. A sign, it's aight. It's a sign. You can write stuff. Stairs, they're good for building. It's very solid. We're gonna classify this as all stairs here, and just, it's a stair. It's okay, but it is pretty useful. So we'll keep it there. Doors, ladders, rails, I think are very solid. You do need them. I think they're above detector rails as well, like that. I think that's a good order. Pressure plates, they're who cares? It's a pressure plate. You can step on it and it do stuff. Cobblestone, you get a lot of it. Who needs it? Redstone, very solid. Redstone torch, very solid. They're like the building blocks for any redstone contraption. You need to power something and to be able to invert the power. That's what those two are for. I think this is packed snow, or is it just snow? I don't know. I'm gonna say snow. It's forgettable. If you're in a snow biome, there's snow. Cool. That's all. That's all it does. Ice, I would put this in It's less forgettable. It has uses when you're like transporting items, especially in the nether. If you're trying to do like a farm where you have water streams over chests, you can't do that. So ice is the next best thing. And it actually is pretty useful there. Clay is forgetful. I'm going to be honest. Like it's clay. Who cares? A jukebox. So I was talking about this with the note block. A jukebox is a note block, but you got to pay a diamond. That's stupid. It's useless. It can play music sometimes, but that's it. Who cares? A fence. It's aight. It's not super used, but when you need it, you do kind of need it. So I'll give it a aight. And if you put a carpet on top of it, you can jump over it, but animals can't. It's actually quite useful. Pumpkins, they're forgetful. I don't even know what they're for. Like, you can eat pumpkin pie, I guess, but nothing else. Netherrack is stupid. Soul Sand, just for bubble elevators specifically, it's aight. Like, it's actually pretty up there. Wood, I don't know if this is aight. I'm actually gonna put both of these back down to aight because I didn't see planks here before when I was ranking this one. I think it goes in aight because it's wood. It's aight. Glowstone, I'm gonna be honest, back in the day, this was one of the better blocks, but it's kind of ugly now in terms of lighting. Like, we have end rods, we have shroom lights, we have those frog lamp light things. It's kind of forgettable. I don't think it deserves to be an even. Stone brick, very solid. I'm such a like 2011 builder, and this is like my bread and butter. It's so easy to do. It matches like everything. It's perfect. Iron fences, iron gates, iron bars, they're useless. Nether brick, useless. It's kind of an ugly block. Like, it's too dark. It sucks in all of the light, and it makes it hard to like match with anything. An enchantment table, I'm not throwing it in useless, just for the comments to not roast me, but it is forgetful. It's you got villagers, there's no point. A brewing stand, I don't use it, but it can be really useful. So I'm throwing it in A cauldron. So before, whenever the lava like farm update was introduced, it was useless or forgetful really. But now, I think it's very solid. Like, you can automate lava. That's sick. That's great for any like smelting farms or anything like that. So I'm throwing it in very solid. Endstone, it's forgetful. Its really good use is for Enderman farms because they can't pick up Endstone. And I think a couple of other blocks, but they definitely can't pick up Endstone. And that's a really cheap one for Enderman farms and stuff like that. So that's why it's not useless. And it doesn't look stupid. Like, it doesn't look awful like diorite or netherrack or something. Oh my god, my voice cracked. Redstone lamps, they're okay. They're used like in some stuff, either like they're a pretty block, but they do take up like 2 spaces because you need to power it. But it's more used like in redstone contraptions and stuff. Like, they're pretty useful to tell you what if like your chest is empty or something's happening. So I'd put them in I8. Emeralds, I've been going on and on about villagers. Emeralds are useful. Like, they just are. They're helpful for trading. You can get books. You can get quartz from villagers and stuff. You can get a boatload of stuff. So emeralds are like the gateway to that. Bedrock, it's forgetful. You can't pick it up. That's all it is. It's there. Ooh, an ender chest. This might be the next OMG. It's a really good addition to the game, and it doesn't seem too obnoxious. Like, it's just extra portable storage. So I think it's OMG. Emerald blocks, they're useless. Moving on. A beacon, actually OMG. You kill the wither to get a beacon. You're gonna say, OMG, I have a beacon now. It's gotta be. Even if it's bottom of OMG, I think it's better than a furnace even. In terms of usefulness, I know that's saying a lot because you use a furnace all the time. But like, in certain farms, it's necessary because like if you're AFKing a while, you'll run out of hunger. So you need that. So it's actually not a bad choice. Walls are because it's a wall. Who cares? I'll throw fences right next to it, but in front of it because it's a little bit cheaper. And I think it looks better for like animals and stuff. Heads, useless. I don't know what heads are for. I'm gonna be honest. Anvils, very solid. They hurt when they land on your head, and that is all. No, they're useful in getting good gear and stuff. It's whatevs. Daylight sensors are forgetful. I don't think I've ever used one in my, how long has this game been out? 86 years of playing this game. I don't think I've ever used one. Redstone blocks are very solid. They make a lot of things a lot easier in redstone, and also it makes like lining rail tracks and stuff easier because then you just need to put this down instead of a redstone torch or flicking a lever or something. So I think it's very solid. Quartz, I think is it's a pain to get. Actually, I think it's very solid. It's a really good way of XP too. I forgot about that. And it's also used in like comparators, repeaters. It might not be used in repeaters, but it's used in comparators. It's used in observers. It's used in a bunch of redstone stuff, and it's really useful. Quartz blocks though, they're No, they're That was the biggest transition from forgetful to but they're kind of pretty. And even though they're expensive, you can get them with villagers for a lot cheaper. and then they're kind of a viable building block as like your main building block for the base. So I think that's pretty good. Water, very solid. It's water. I mean, in real life, you gotta drink water. Activator rails are They're like needed when you need them, but rarely do you need them. It just like when a cart goes over it and an activator rail is powered, it just kicks whatever's riding the thing, the minecart, out of it, which like is sometimes useful, but you can do this manually. Actually, I'm gonna throw it in forgetful just because you can do it manually. A dispenser is going to be put in very solid. This is basically a dropper on steroids. It is a pain to craft, but with the new automated crafter that's coming out in 1.21, I think, it actually soon won't be, which is going to be great. So I'm very excited about that. Slime blocks are all right. They're useful in flying machines, and that's about it. But yeah, that's all. I don't know. It's useful in flying machines, and you could use honey, but I think slime is cheaper. Like it's easier to make a slime farm than a honey farm, in my opinion, just because it takes forever to deal with the bees and stuff and breeding them and setting up the whole thing. So I think they're all right, and I think they look kind of okay. Like they're cool if you like put a light behind them. You can use them as like a diffuser type of thing, and they're pretty cool. A coal block, forgetful. Lava, I think is alright. It's not like top tier block. It's not on the level of iron or obsidian or redstone, but it's pretty good. Like it can be used in furnaces. It can power stuff. Like it's pretty helpful. It can destroy stuff actually, which is a good addition. Sand. What is sand used for? Falling. It's dirt or grass. Very solid. You need it for crops. You need it for sheep. It looks cool, looks pretty. I think very solid's fair. And the last one, other than this taco cat thing, I don't know why this is here, but the last one, stone. I think stone's aight. I think it's better than cobblestone. It looks nicer. You can make cobblestone with it. I think it's aight. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the list. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comment section if I made any horrible miscalculations, like if an anvil should be in forgetful, because anvils are stupid, or something like that. So let me know. Leave a like on this video if you like this like live type of thing. I hope to do maybe some cooking videos or something fun where like challenges where I don't know the recipe or something like that. So definitely let me know if you'd like to see that, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.